If discipline were the answer, you'd already be where you want to be. The real problem isn't a lack of discipline, it's relying on it in the first place. Welcome to the Doing What You Know Friday community video. These Fridays are about slowing things down just enough to reflect, reconnect, and reinforce what you're building. Not just in your business or goals, but in yourself. If you've had a strong week, great. If it's been messy, you're still exactly where you need to be. At this point in the journey, most people land on the same conclusion. I just need to be more disciplined. They say it after drifting. They say it after self-sabotage. They say it when consistency feels heavy. Discipline becomes the explanation for everything that's not working. And on the surface, it sounds responsible. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If discipline were enough, willpower would solve everything. And it doesn't. Discipline feels attractive because it puts the blame back on you. If the problem is discipline, then the solution is simple. Try harder, push more, clamp down. That feels controllable. But discipline is a finite resource. It works in short bursts. It works in crisis moments. It works when adrenaline is high. It does not work as a long-term operating system. And that's why people burn out, reset, and repeat the same cycles. Here's the distinction that changes everything. Discipline asks, can I force myself to do this again today? Structure asks, have I made this the path of least resistance? Highly consistent people are not more disciplined. They are better structured. Their environment does more of the work than their willpower. They don't wake up deciding whether to show up. The decision was already made. This is where discipline actually backfires. When you rely on discipline, every miss feels like failure. Every break feels like weakness. Every off day becomes evidence you're not built for this. That narrative erodes self-trust. People don't quit because they lack discipline. They quit because they lose confidence in themselves. And discipline-heavy systems destroy confidence faster than almost anything else. Inside every long-term community, you see the same split. Some people white-knuckle it. They rely on discipline, pressure, and self-talk. Others build simple structures. Visible check-ins, predictable rhythms, low-friction items. The second group lasts longer even when motivation drops, not because they're tougher, because they stopped asking discipline to do a job it can't do. So here's the reframe. Discipline is useful, but it's not foundational. Discipline is what you use occasionally. Structure is what carries you daily. When discipline becomes the foundation, cracks are inevitable. When structure becomes the foundation, discipline becomes optional. That's the shift that stabilizes momentum. Every phase of growth in my life where I burned out had one thing in common. I was trying to discipline my way through misalignment. The breakthroughs came when I stopped asking, why can't I push harder, and started asking, what structure would make this easier to repeat? That question changes everything. Here's what I want you to reflect on. Where are you currently relying on discipline instead of structure? Is it your schedule, your habits, your visibility, your follow-through? That's the area that needs redesign, not more pressure. This is exactly why the Doing What You Know community exists. Not to motivate you, not to discipline you, but to give you structure you can lean on when discipline fades. Visibility, rhythm, expectation. If you're not already inside the community, join us at doingwhatyouknow.com/team. You don't need more discipline. You need a structure that keeps you moving even on low energy days. If you're watching this and you're not actively inside the Doing What You Know community, understand this. Progress doesn't come from knowing more. It comes from being in an environment that keeps pulling you forward when you normally drift back. That's what this community exists for. Join us at doingwhatyouknow.com/school. It's SKOOL. Get involved, stay visible, and keep doing what you know.